Okay, let's talk about some mentalities for lifelong fitness. And lifelong fitness is exactly what it sounds like. This is fitness for life. This is fitness for the next 10, 20, 30 years of your life. So, how do you maintain that? How do you progress that? How do you stay consistent with your fitness? Something I have started to say and started to adopt in my own life is exercise is intuitive and fitness is a skill. Meaning, I think we all understand the benefits of exercise. We all naturally want to exercise. We all crave exercise. We all want to be healthy in some capacity, whatever that is relative to you. You wouldn't be listening to this if that wasn't the case. But fitness, on the other hand, is a skill. Fitness is a practice. That is something that we develop. That is something that we learn. That is something that we fail on and then grow and get better at. So, what are some mentalities that we can focus on and try to incorporate into our daily life for lifelong fitness? Number one is getting back on track when life takes you off. And don't don't joke yourself and think that life's never going to take you off. It's not a matter of if, but when. Your ability to get back on track, to get back into your routine when life brings you away from it is like the number one thing towards having a lifelong fitness routine. And there's going to be big things that happen in your life: loss of a loved one, change of jobs and moves. And there's going to be small things like getting sick for a couple days. You're tired, you went on a little vacation. Being able to recognize them and know that they are going to occur and then quickly be able to get back in line with what you were doing is a skill. That's a mentality. So how do you do it? You fall back on the basics. You don't try to be heroic. You don't try to double down on what you were doing, restrict yourself extra, try to exercise more than you were to make up the time. You just go back to the basics. And for most people, that's walking, that is following some form of a nutritional plan or structure, eating whole foods, prioritizing protein, prioritizing fiber, and then that's weightlifting. 1 to 3 times a week. Fall back into the basics. Have an accountability source. That can be a friend, that can be a partner, a spouse, that can be a fitness coach. Somebody else that is like, hey, you were doing this and then you stopped. Like, let's try to get back on that. And set your environment up to make it easier. Meaning, when you do your intentional walks, it's either a close drive or it's out your front door. Grocery store, and you try to stock your fridge right when you get back from your vacation, or as soon as you can, so that you have whole foods and foods that you want to rely on readily available. You have a fitness plan already created. You have a workout plan already created so that you don't have to think about it. You just fall back in line with it. That's how we make it easier to get back on track. Number two is adaptability. Being able to identify different seasons of your life, because different seasons have different allowances of your energy and your availability to commit. And seasons are not just in a year, they're not just weather patterns. Maybe your kids are in a season where they are doing 3 sports and you're driving all around town trying to get them to their practices. Like, that is a different season of your life, and your exercise is going to be different. Your fitness plan is going to be different for that. So adjust your expectations of yourself. You should not hold yourself to the same expectation during that busy season as you were when, all you were doing was dropping them off school and you had 2 hours of free time. Be able to adapt based on what you are able to give and commit. And again, this one's big and small as well. This could be a 2-week season where you're just a little bit busier at work and you need to adjust, or this could be a 5-year season. How do you do it? You identify first. And sometimes you identify when you're in the smack dab middle of it. A couple weeks go by and you're like, oh dang, this is a lot harder than it used to be. Like, I think my season is changing. Sometimes it's coming. Like summer, school gets out. You kind of know it's coming. You can prepare yourself a little bit more. But adaptability is the same, whether you realize it when you're a little bit underwater or you realize it before it happens. But identifying first and then using the balance of intensity and consistency. We use intensity to take steps forward in our routine. These mini 4 to 8 week bouts of, hey, I'm really going to lock in on this so I can grow. And then we use consistency to maintain that. And sometimes often our season, all we can handle is consistency. And sometimes our season allows us to ride that intensity. And then understanding that less is more. When you are in a tough season and you need to adapt, reduce your expectations of yourself. Understand that less is more. That 10-minute walk is so much better than nothing. Even though you were doing 30 minutes 2 weeks ago, maybe you are not able to track your calories anymore. That's what you were doing, but now your season has changed. But instead, you're still going to measure out some of your serving sizes of your cooking oils. Understanding that less is more will allow you to adapt and allow you to stay into the game. And then when your season changes, you are starting at a relatively good level as opposed to starting over. And number 3, again, go back to the entirety of this conversation. How do we have fitness for life? We allow ourselves to be lifelong students of the game. Fitness is never truly complete. I mean, come on. You're just going to get to a point where you cross over a line and you're like, all right, I'm done now. Like, I got it all figured out. I'm fit. I can slow down. Like, that's probably not going to happen. You're always learning. You are always adapting. You're always riding that line of getting off and then getting back on track. My parents are in their 70s. Their fitness has looked a lot of different ways over their life, but they are still learning, they are still growing. Accept the quest for mastery. Just like you would in your profession, just like you would as a parent, just like you would as a spouse. Know that with fitness, you're always looking to grow and to learn, and with learning is steps backwards. You may take a few steps back, but that allows you to adjust what you were doing and take a few steps forward. So how do you do it? I think humility is super important on this. Like, let your pride down. You don't got to have it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. Like, we're all learning together. So that's number 1. Just be humble with it. Nobody has this thing completely ironed down and things change. Have an open curiosity. Be open to trying new foods, trying new techniques, trying new workout tactics, trying new programs, trying a different approach. It doesn't even have to be different. It could be what you were doing. But just be open and curious. And then I think one of the most important ones, again, going back to this conversation, lifelong fitness is being patient. We all want things to happen a lot sooner than they do. We all want results a lot sooner than they're going to happen. So just take a deep breath. Know that if you're listening to this, you're invested in your fitness to some capacity. So you're doing good. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with what you're doing and allow that lifelong approach. So again, go back to number 1, getting back on track when you get off track, because it's going to happen. Number 2 is being able to adapt. Identify the season that you're in and change your fitness approach to match that season. And number 3, allow yourself to be a lifelong student of the game. If you have any questions, please reach out. If you want to talk about any certain subject on this, again, please reach out. If this inspires you in any certain way, then shoot me a message. But I hope this was helpful. Keep finding your flow.